Hi, I'm Devin Rubin from Mayo Clinic in Jacksonville, Florida.
I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Jennifer.
And we're here to introduce you to a new interactive educational program called Nerve Conduction Study Trainer that's designed to teach you the concepts, the methods, and the interpretation of nerve conduction studies. Let's take a look at this new product. Once you enter the Nerve Conduction Study Trainer, you come to a menu that shows the different sections of the program. And you can see the sections are concepts, nerve demonstrations, waveform interpretation, waveform examples, reference tables, and quizzes. When you go into the concepts, this section really focuses on general concepts pertaining to most types of nerve conduction studies. And you can see that there are concepts related to preparation of the patient, placement of the electrode, and nerve stimulation. And if we go into each section, there's both textual and image descriptions related to that topic. You can see here, this image is showing where to place certain electrodes, and there's quite a bit of content related to that section. There also are videos that demonstrate the same concept, and we actually demonstrate while performing these nerve conduction studies the particular points. The nerve demonstration section is a very large section. It's actually almost like a manual in which we actually demonstrate a variety of different individual nerves. So if we go into, say, the upper limb motor section, you can see the list of nerves that are in this section. And we'll just select a common median motor conduction study, recording from the APB. And within this demonstration section, we have a number of options. We have the option to see a video of us performing that study. We have the option of looking at the still images that show the electrode placement and stimulation sites. There's textual description of how to perform the study. There's a waveform showing the normal waveform example. There is also information related to pitfalls of that study and the utility of the study. And we have a large number of nerves. Some of these are common nerves, some of these are uncommon nerves in which we demonstrate and describe how to perform them. The waveform interpretation section is a section dedicated to instruction on what you should look at when you're interpreting the nerve conduction study waveforms. So again, if we go to the motor nerve conduction study section, there will be a video that describes what we're recording during a motor conduction study. And there's also still images and text describing concepts related to that point that we're making. So here are some pictures describing what a CMAP is and what we are looking at and interpreting when we're interpreting a motor conduction study waveform. There is also a section that has a large number of nerve conduction waveform examples. You can see here on the example table, there are examples of common and uncommon conduction studies. There's examples of pathologic processes, for example, conduction block. And within each section, there are between 5 and 10 or more examples demonstrating that finding. So we can pick an example of a fibular conduction block, and you can see an actual waveform with a description of what that waveform is showing. And you can scroll through to see other examples within that waveform and within that section. Finally, there are some reference sections. There's a section of reference tables that has both tables of how to set up in our laboratory the nerve conduction study. So what distances do we use, where do we place the electrode, and then there's reference values related to the waveforms that we're recording and the values that we obtain. And lastly, there's a quiz section. The quiz section is composed of 5 quizzes with 10 questions each. These are interactive quizzes that test your knowledge of the concepts that we've described and gone throughout the program. The quizzes are multiple choice, there are hotspot quizzes, and there's immediate feedback after you take the quiz. So that's the Nerve Conduction Study Trainer. We hope that you will find it useful, and we hope that you enjoy the program.
All right, thank
Bye.
you.
Bye.
Bye.